One of the best explanations that I've read for why Africa is underdeveloped is George Ayete's Africa's Coconut Republics. Now, it's very common to hear Africans argue that colonialism and imperialism are responsible for Africa's underdevelopment. For George Ayete, he takes a different view. He argues that African nationalist leaders we had in the 1960s, after we gained independence from Western colonialism, committed a fundamental error. A lot of them, like Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Leopold Sedar Senghor, adopted socialism. He argues that they committed a syllogistic error of equating capitalism with colonialism, and because colonialism is exploitative, so is capitalism, and that led them to adopt socialism. But the thing is this: for socialism to work, it requires government overreach, it requires dictatorship, and a lot of its leaders became dictatorial. They collectivized farmlands, they imposed tariffs, they regulated prices, they issued licenses for people to import and export and stuff like that. And he argues all of those things worked against the growth and development of Africa. Interestingly, a lot of them argue that socialism was native to Africa. They argue that because traditional African societies are collectivist, socialism is native to Africa. However, George Ayete disagrees. George Ayete argues that traditional African societies were actually capitalist. There's no historical basis for adopting socialism because it's actually alien to us. He argues that traditional African societies had market squares. He argued that traditional African societies did not have chiefs or leaders imposing prices on the people. Traditional African societies did not have leaders collectivizing farmlands and what have you. And so he argues that there is no historical justification for the adoption of socialism in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, by these leaders. This is an interesting argument, and it is not something you hear very often when we talk about underdevelopment in Africa. I'm going to drop a link to the paper in the description or comment section of this video. Yeah, let me know what you think about George Ayete's argument. I'll see you guys in the next one.